number 8 I got The Prestige, Christopher Nolan's very memorable film about two magicians who have sort of a rivalry and want to know each other's secrets, and it's got so many twists and turns, and it's, I think, one of his best films. I love Memento, I love Falling. I don't think he's done one movie that isn't, you know, worth watching. I didn't care too much for Batman Begins, to be honestly, when it came out, but I really thought that Dark Knight surpassed it, so it went so much higher, and it elevated the ongoing franchise to, you know, a height that wasn't even imaginable. But yeah, The Prestige, I'm bringing that for another reason as well. Not only is it an incredibly good movie, it's one of those films that you can watch over and over again, and it brings so much on the second viewing. I just saw it for the second time like a couple weeks ago. I was amazed because it's got so many small kind of clues to the big mystery of it and the big twist at the end. And when you see it for the second time, it's like all these teeny tiny details that you never really thought of are just magnified to this amazing size, and just go like, wow, you know, like that's why and that's how he ended it all. I mean, if you've seen The Prestige and you love it, watch it the second time. Just, you know, watch it the third time. There are so many details there that you don't think about on the first viewing. I mean, even though you know it's a great film and you think like, wow, if you watch it the second time, you will remember and you will notice so much that adds to, you know, revealing the mystery that you didn't see before. Kind of a, like Usual Suspects, but, you know, Usual Suspects on acid. Okay, this is my third recording. I have had to stop and go again, not for the entire video, but, you know, parts of it, because I started recording and then it ended and I didn't know it had ended, so then I jabbered on about a movie and it didn't get in on the tape. Anyway, if I calculated this correct, the last film I was talking about was The Prestige, and you should watch it over and over and over again, so do that, because it's great. Next up on the list is number 9, so just one to go. Number 9 is Seven, David Fincher's classic 1990s thriller, totally one of his best films. I guess Fight Club might be considered the smarter film, if you would compare them, and I think Fight Club is amazing, but I think that Seven is one of those films that you can watch over again, because it's such a great film, it's so told in such a great way, and the characters are just, you know, it's just a classic thriller, and I love it. It's so good looking, because I think with Fight Club, the reason I'm not picking Fight Club is because even though that's a film that's fun to watch a second time, because you notice a lot of things that, you know, if you know what's gonna happen, it's fun, you know, because you see a lot of details and understand things better. But I think that the big twist in Fight Club is so big that if you know it, it's also not as good a movie. I don't know why really, because I think it's good, but I find that it's one of those films that I haven't watched too many times. I think I've watched like, I don't know, 3, 4 at the most. But Seven I've watched like, I don't know, millions of times, because I think it's such a watchable film for some reason. And yeah. Oh, sorry about that, but the battery died, I was gonna say, but no, the battery didn't die. The discs space, the card space on the card that you have for recording movies went totally empty and it shut down, so I had to start over. Number 10. For number 10, the Big 10, I've already talked about this one time, so sorry if I'm not all like, whoa, number 10! But I've already talked about this for like 5 minutes and it didn't get on camera, so I hope this gets on camera. Number 10. I was considering bringing porn for number 10, but and it's not because I'm a porn freak or anything, but it's the afterlife and we don't really know what's gonna happen. Maybe it's spent in solitude, maybe it's if you go to hell, maybe they cut your hands off and you can't please yourself. Maybe you're not allowed to have sex, maybe it's spent in a small room with nothing to do but watch movies. There's no point of having sex because you can't have babies and that's un-Catholic and not Christian. Ugh. Also, I think it's an interesting thing to consider bringing for the afterlife. I know that Boomstickplease mentioned that he would be bringing movies with sort of like eye candy in. But I was considering bringing porn, as I told you, but I'm not bringing porn. I'm bringing, and also I don't know any good porn titles. I mean, I've never actually rented. Go to the video store and you rent porn, or you buy porn. I've never done that. I've watched porn, obviously. Every guy has, and anyone who says they haven't is just a liar. I don't know an actual porn title, like they usually have bizarre names. Schindler's Fist. So, for number 10, I'm bringing Twin Peaks. I thought long and hard about this. I've considered Seinfeld, I've considered Friends, and those two would probably be, one of them would be the wiser choice, as I think they're good series and you can watch them over and over again. And also it's comedy, so it's very easy to watch, and but I wanted to go with something a little bit more daring. I considered Dexter, because I think it's just an awesome series and I'm totally into it right now. On the other hand, I don't think Dexter is a series that you might want to watch repeatedly too often. But I don't know. And I guess the same could be said about the one that I've actually chosen. But I think that Twin Peaks, I had to have David Lynch in here somehow. And Twin Peaks is just some of his best work. I think Lost Highway is the best film. But Twin Peaks, the series, is just... there's so much Lynch in it. There's so many memorable characters, the storyline. And I think it's also one of those shows that you can sit down and watch just parts of, because it's so entertaining. And you know, you don't have to, I mean, if you've seen the whole thing, you remember the story and all that. But then you can just sit down and watch like one episode in the middle that you really like, because each episode is so very much on its own, and it's more about the characters and the journey they have, as opposed to the big finale, you know. It's a character-driven piece, I guess. I don't know, it's one of my favorite series, and I don't actually own it, which is very bizarre, but it's not something that you rewatch. I haven't rewatched for a long time, but I'd like to. That's a bit of a paradox bringing it if I don't think I'm gonna watch it too often, but whatever. I wanted to bring something David Lynch, so there you have it. A Big 10. I hope this works on camera. Got nothing else to say. So yeah, Twin Peaks for the Big 10. And with that said, I wonder where my girlfriend is actually. She was gonna be home, I was gonna make dinner. I don't know. I think that's it. Stay tuned for... we can't do that. Bye bye.